If there's pain in the world and we ignore it, what kind of devotion is that? Welcome back to For Soul's Sake. Let me ask you a question. When we see suffering happening all over the world, what's our first response? Do you turn away and keep scrolling? Or do you feel sad but powerless? Or do you ask, what can I do?
For soul's sake, for soul's sake.
Just recently, the news has been filled with devastating scenes. Lives being lost, people being evacuated, families devastated, people searching for missing loved ones. It's truly heartbreaking. And when we witness this kind of pain, a common question arises in our mind. Why does God allow this to happen? But instead of trying to explain Krishna's plans, Bhakti encourages us to ask a different question. You ready for it? How can I respond with compassion right now? The Bhagavad Gita tells us that every living being is Krishna's eternal fragmental part. Mame vamso jiva loke. In the 15th chapter, 7th verse, Krishna says that the persons of the world are suffering in other countries doesn't make them strangers. They're our spiritual relatives. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the message goes further. In the 10th canto, the gopis, the dearmost sweet girls of Vrindavan, they pray, let our actions bring well-being to all living beings. This reminds us that compassion is not optional. It's woven into the fabric of devotion. And in spiritual practice, compassion isn't an extra. It's part of devotion itself. For example, when the residents of Vrindavan, they saw Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill with his little pinky, they didn't just stand there admiring him. They gathered the children, the elderly, the animals, and they brought them all to that shelter. They helped, they served, and that practical care is also bhakti. Krishna doesn't want us to feel hopeless when there is suffering. He wants us to feel responsible in some way. And recently, we've all seen heartbreaking stories from across Asia and beyond, with massive tropical storms that trigger catastrophic flooding and landslides in Indonesia, Sumatra, tens of thousands of homes being submerged, destroyed, over 1 million people displaced, and the death toll rising into the hundreds. So when we witness this kind of pain, the common question arises, why does Krishna, why does the Supreme allow this to happen? But instead of asking for explanations, Bhakti encourages us to ask a different question. How can we respond with compassion right now? Unfortunately, suffering will always exist in this material world. That's the nature of it. Things change, life is fragile, and we all go through loss. But how we respond, that's what becomes our spiritual growth. Even a small action, a donation, a message of support, spreading awareness, joining a relief effort, when done with sincerity, becomes seva. And we may not be able to change the whole world, I get that. But we can definitely change someone's world, and that's meaningful. It's easy to think someone should do something about this, but Bhakti says, we are that someone. Once, Srila Prabhupada was in a conversation with one of his dear disciples, Vishnujan, and he asked Vishnujan Maharaj to look in the corner and see what's there. Vishnujan Swami didn't see anything in the corner, and he told Srila Prabhupada, there's nothing there, what do you mean, look in the corner? Srila Prabhupada responded, I see the dust. And therefore, Krishna has allowed me to see the dust, and therefore I should do something about it. I should clean it up. If there's pain in the world and we ignore it, what kind of devotion is that? If there are people crying and we look away, what have we understood about love? See, serving others is not separate from serving God. Serving others is serving Krishna. Remember that divinity is not only in the temple, they're in every heart. So here are 2 questions that we can carry into our day. Number 1, when I see suffering, do I respond in some way or do I scroll past? And number 2, what small act of compassion can I offer this week, this day, this hour for someone who needs it? We all have something to give. A little kindness, a little time, a small prayer. And in God's eyes, no sincere effort is small. So let's together, as a collective, be instruments of compassion, be ambassadors for peace and love, and let's make our devotion visible through our care so that God can see our action with love. Till next time, Haribol. If you love this podcast, you'll love my interview with Shivani Pal on the importance of accepting and embracing others without judgment. Check it out.
With a knife, you can kill someone. You can hurt someone, you can harm someone. You can also use that knife to chop fruits and vegetables to eat. And also, you can use that knife by a surgeon to save someone's life.
Yeah.
And so with money, it's not a bad thing. It depends how you use it and how you show it.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that we shouldn't pass judgment on people who choose to live in a big house or who choose to buy nice things or to choose to go out, because at the end of the day, I think we believe that if you're a monk, if you're spiritual, if you're this, if you're a woman, you're a man, this is the life you should lead.